So here we are again with another single by The Raven Age. Now, if you haven't been keeping up with me on The Raven Age or are new to the channel, then the first album by The Raven Age I didn't really enjoy. I thought the singer had a very kind of stale, boring voice. As for the instrumentation, they did have a heaviness to them and a good sense of rhythm and leads, but they didn't do any lead solos. It would take about five or so songs from the start of the album to actually get your first solo. And then there's like a bunch more songs you have to get through just to get to yet again another solo, which I find to kind of be a pain in the neck. And when they actually do achieve a solo, it's not even bad or kind of like, well, I can see why they just do it here and there because they're not great. The solos are actually pretty good. They actually are very skilled and do some pretty nice musical kind of solos. They have great melody to them and good showmanship. So I just find that to be extremely lazy, extremely stupid. Again, the singer I didn't really enjoy. The songs also lasted pretty much always around the 7 minute mark, which to most people would kind of say, well, there's obviously going to be a lot of changes in the song structure and everything to keep the interest, but everything goes at such a slow pace. Everything's not kind of upbeat. It never really gets like that or high energy. Everything just dragged, which kind of made the album boring even by that means. So with the next album that's going to be coming out next month, I believe, they've released three new tracks. This is the fourth one that I'll be reviewing today, and they have also got a new singer. Now, for the previous three tracks, there is a fair decent amount of diversity between each track. Not a huge, humongous amount where it's like night and day. It's just different kind of tempos, different kind of pacing and things, and different kind of vocal pitches with the vocalist. But other than that, nothing really much going for it. The structures have been condensed, so the songs are around 3-4 minutes, so they've shortened them, so you don't get extremely bored and fed up of them because they don't really do much. So you don't want to just have a really long song of not doing much. You just want to go, okay, I've heard the rhythm for the first time now. I've heard the chorus for the first time now. Here's the rhythm again, the chorus. It's like I don't want to really hear it anymore because I've already heard it enough. The new vocalist has a much improved voice. He has a really nice voice. It's not a deep voice. It's a voice that's better suited for the higher register delivery. And the previous three tracks have not had any solos in the slightest, so that has been worrying. So basically, they've just been churning out pretty good songs, and I have really liked them. Great vocals, great guitar play, and the song doesn't overstay its welcome. But they have been missing solos, so all the songs are just kind of basic, and there's not much really to it as far as a songwriter would go, because it's just basic with the same type of structure as any type of band, nothing unique. So here we are with The Day the World Stood Still, the fourth single by The Raven Age. No, again, as per usual, it's definitely more high energy. That's another thing. These new songs have a lot more kind of high energy. Got great kind of rhythm and melodies to them. The intro just starts right off the bat. There's no kind of build up or anything. Just kind of starts off with all the band members, and then the verse has some high energy, but there's nothing too complicated going on. Just a very high energy verse. Great vocal delivery. The pre-chorus goes for more of a kind of slow, mellow approach, and then the vocalist from time to time will do one of them kind of faded vocal deliveries in the background, and then layer on top the typical kind of normal vocal delivery. The chorus, again, it's just kind of a simple kind of repeated phrase of just I'm worrying, I'm worrying. So I don't know why the song isn't called I'm Worrying, because he says it a lot for the chorus, but it's memorable because of it. And then the verse kind of just goes on the same way, and the chorus goes on the same way. But we actually now get a solo for the first time. So 3 songs, no solo. 4th song off of the 12-track album they'll be dropping actually has a solo. So hopefully, if every track now has a solo, they'll be all right. But it's actually hard to tell because now I know they're not just ditching the solos completely. They actually have done one, so they need to keep doing it. But how is the solo? So the solo starts off just nothing complicated. It's just a nice sounding melody that's getting played. Goes into a bit of speed and technicality. It's nothing too showy or anything. It's just a tad quick. And then he kind of goes back into repeating the kind of similar phrase. It's one of these things these kind of very basic, lazy lead guitarists do who don't really do solos, but when they actually do actually bother, all they do is do a repeated phrase and then do a bit of a whittle, then go back to the repeated phrase and then drop out altogether. So it's not really that great, unfortunately. As I say, the melody he does is good, but then he just starts repeating it, which is not reinventing or doing anything new. It's just like, here's a phrase, this sounds great, now I'm just going to keep throwing it in your face constantly and not really do anything else because it's so fantastic, which that never really works for any great guitarist. They just can't have a great phrase and you're like, that sounds great. If they just constantly keep bashing you in the head with it, even if it's great, it basically wrecks it because it's just too much. So yeah, he does cut it up with the middle section having a quick lead, but a lot of these very bland lead guitarists, they actually do a solo from time to time, always seem to do it this way, the extremely lazy way of, I'll do a nice melody, repeat it, and then I'll do a whittle, then I'll come back into the same melody and come out. The melody is not always consistent. He does have some nuances here and there, but it's mostly just exactly the same. So, wrapping up, it is probably the best one to me that they've released, just because it actually has a solo, so it feels like an actual full song. As for with the other tracks, because it doesn't have a solo, it just seems like songs that are just very, very basic, very bland, and missing a huge part. But now that they've got a solo in this one, I actually feel like it is a complete song at least. Even though the solo is not too grand and the structure is quite simple. It's a fun song. It has great vocals. It's got a good kind of energetic beat to it. It's just a bit of fun. It's nothing amazingly groundbreaking or special or outstandingly unique. The guitar's nothing unique. It's just if you've got nothing to really listen to, you listen to all your best albums, you're a bit kind of fed up with it, and you just want to listen to something where you don't have to give much attention to, just something you can play and just kind of listen to and have a bit of fun just in the meantime until something comes out later. This will kind of be these kind of songs, and as well as this one. So rating it, I'll give it a 7. Just a good song, nothing really else to it. It's good, that's it. And yep, that'll be it from me. So because the album's coming out next month, I don't think we're going to get another single by these guys until the album, which I will be reviewing. So if you're wanting to see what I think of the overall album, then subscribe and you can see what I think. But until then, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.